Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and today we're going to be going over our April 2025 account update. We've got a lot of stuff to share, and then we've got some major news coming in regard to the Era Battle and the impact CX2 is having on that for the players who have invested in those characters to Relic 9, kind of talk about what that means moving forward, not just for this Era Battle, but also for some of the ones we will be getting later. How does this change the way you value these characters? Does it change the way you're farming them? This is something that I feel you could really benefit from if you are an endgame player who's flush with crystals, which is pretty easy to get to if we're honest. So this might change even how I in the future am going to be spending my bonus crystals, because there's some big things happening that I feel you could really take advantage of. So we're going to talk through that. Let's first give a shout out to our channel members, as always, for their continued support. If you're ever interested, that link is down below, along with a link to our Discord server. Go check it out. Really appreciate you guys. You know, you're keeping the faith, you're believing. You know, my one picture is not showing here. Hold on. There we go. All right, let's get this one. You know, even if you are not a Jedi Master, even if you are just on the council, you still have a special place in the Fat family, and I very much appreciate all of you guys. So let's get in here. Let's talk about my account, and then, of course, let's talk about the Era Battle. So let's start with this Nightfall Era Battle. Again, this is, you know, the one where I'm only able to get to this tier where I can earn shards of Oppo or CX2, so we still have a little bit of ways to go there. But in regard to, you know, this battle, in regard to everything else, what's the next thing, right? What's the, you know, how are players doing here? So the first one I want to show is a couple of screenshots from the Sigma server here. So I want to share this one from TK421. Great name, by the way. So as you guys can see here, he was able to 1-star tier 4, 5, and 6, with tier 6 granting him those 5 Omicrons, 5 droid brains, and 5 Gerda keypads. Alright, yeah, that was pretty lame. But no, so hats off to him. That's really well done. 1-star in each of those. And then another one here as well is from Eggnog, who's in my guild, and he kind of shared this screenshot. Again, I apologize that they're small, but shared this, where he got his 5 Omicrons, 5 droid brains, 5 Gerda keypads at tier 6 on the 1-star. So that's a pretty big deal, right? Congratulations to these guys. Anybody else in my comments, please let me know if you were able to do this at Relic 9. This is really good stuff. And I'm just going to share TK's mods here that he posted in the Discord. Again, another, you know, just give him a shout, right? So, just zooming in here, a lot of speed, a lot of offense on CX2. As you guys can see, a lot of, you know, speed set, good, you know, offense where he can, offense secondaries. And then kind of going down to Oppo here, another similar situation where he's got, you know, an offense set and then a lot of extra speed. So it seems like speed and offense is kind of the key here. And he did say it's RNG. So he attempted a couple of times, finally got one of them to stick. Even though it's not simmable yet, even though it's not 3-star, you're getting the rewards, and that's all that matters to anybody is the rewards, right? So I think we can walk away saying, yes, CX2 is making a huge difference. You know, so I'm taking this as I want to get these guys to Relic 9 as soon as humanly possible, right? That's kind of what I'm going to want to do. And where we want to kind of head with this, right, is if we go back to that screen capture here, my goal realistically is going to get this last Era Battle here. This will be my goal to get them to Relic 9 by this time. Simply because I don't know that they will be available to farm until, you think, Oppo here, if we go to the first screenshot. So this is 1 month right here. These 4 things are 1 month. This is 2 months, 3 months. So like in this range, Oppo potentially gets to be farmable, right? Something along those lines, or maybe even later. So my hope is that at least by this one, I have both of them 7-star. Now, there's one thing I do want to mention. Because it's just those 2 that are getting it done, there's a very strong part of me that's wondering if it's smarter that when they go to shipments, whatever shards I have left of them, that I just buy the crystal cost in shipments, and I use that to get to 7-star and get to those tiers earlier. Because the cost of those extra rewards that I would get during that time gets, between the crystal cost, kind of gets eliminated. I'm not saying I'm 100% sold on that yet, but it is in the back of my head of, hey, maybe this would be a good idea, Phil. So I'm not going to lie. I am really thinking that. It's something that is very much crossing my brain. But even more so, what's kind of been, and this, shout out to Zangster. He and I were kind of talking through this a little bit. When you look at this, like, Jedi Vanguard era battle, it's only the Jedi Temple Guard and Depa. So there's a potential where the Jedi Vanguard era battle is going to be more lucrative for you as a player because it's only 2 characters rather than these 4 clones. Now, again, you're getting it done with 2 clones, but maybe the Jedi Vanguard era battle is a little bit easier. And for these other ones, there's a chance where maybe there's less involved, and so it's going to be easier. Here's what I will say in regard to how this changes the way free-to-play could be playing the game. If you're an endgame player like myself, maybe instead of me buying these character shards to get them to 5-star and unlock these extra shards, it might be smarter to save my bonus crystals, get these characters to 7-star, and that maybe I get, using the shipments, kind of like soft whale. I think that's what Zareth always called it, was like soft whaling. When they go to shipments, he would invest in them there. I'm wondering if that's the ticket here, is, for these Jedi Temple Guards or, these next marquees, if the smart decision is soft whale on them in the shipments, save your bonus crystals, get them in the shipments, and get them to the point where they can complete that era battle quickly. So that is something I'm considering. I'm not sure if I'm sold on it yet. We'll kind of have to wait and see. But I did want to bring that up before we talk about the account update here. So big news there. Congrats to everybody. It is doable at Relic 9, and that's awesome. Yes, it's not simmable. Is it a bit RNG? Sure, but it's rewards, and you're going to do it, right? If you have that opportunity, you're gonna take it. So let's talk about our actual farms now. So the first big thing we did here was we added 2 more Relic 9s. We added Captain Enoch and did the Omicron since we lost our wave battle with Egnards. And we also did our Relic 9 for Night Trooper. Death Trooper Peridia is on the way. We've got our blue signal data. I just need the white and the green. So working on getting that done. That'll be the next thing that will happen in the month of May, right? We'll get him done in the month of May, and we'll be talking about him there. In regard to other things, we got Zalbar to, we finished Zalbar to Relic 7 again in an attempt to, win that wave battle. So, that one bites now, right? Like all these upgrades just for nothing. We did start Jocasta new here. I did take Jocasta. She's only Relic 1 because we are focusing on our Night Trooper and, the Imperial Remnants. I'm probably going to take her to Relic 7. I was thinking Relic 5, but I'm probably just going to end up doing Relic 7 for her. So that'll be a Relic 7 upgrade, kind of get her to where I feel she would need to be for this Jedi Vanguard team. Not just for the raid, but just as a conquest unit. I'm normally at that Relic 5 to Relic 7 range. So I feel Relic 7 for her is going to be pretty fair and will make sense. Lastly, guys, we did get the full Spectre team to Relic 8. Again, part of me, it was hey, this is for the territory battle. And the other side of this was, getting these characters ready for, TB, getting them ready for PvP. This is a team I really wanted those higher relics for, so I'm very happy I've done it. They've been a great team. They've done really well for me, so I can't complain. I'm really, happy I got this done. And it's just a testament to what my account is now. The amount of Relic 9s and Relic 8s that I have in here, and still having some of those resources available to me to work on other teams. I'm very, very, humble brag. I'm very pleased with myself and really feel like my account is finally getting to that stage where those investments aren't this, oh my god, I need a whole video because I did a Relic 8 or a Relic 9. I can just kind of cover like 8 of them in a single video, and it's not a big deal anymore. So this was a really great month for that kind of growth. And then just in terms of mods, we are at 96. As you guys know, we're doing our Mod Monday. We are at 96 currently at the time of recording. 96 speed mods, 25 plus. So we are 4 away from 100. We'll probably have to adjust that goal. I was hoping to get 100 by the end of the year. We're going to end up smashing that. So I'll probably have to try to say I want to get like 120 maybe. which is a tall order, but we'll kind of see how close we get to 120. It would be nice to hit that number. I'd feel really good about that. So we'll see how we keep doing. We're going to go to 120 after we hit 100. So that's been a really, really big decision. The last thing I did want to mention here is datacrons. I did break down and buy the one focus datacron for Boba Fett Sign of Django. I'm 81 short of this piece here, which sucks because like I could buy them for 800 crystals, but I'm not willing to spend crystals on these, so I'm just going to have to wait for a little bit longer in GAC. Not the end of the world. That's about what I expected for this kind of datacron, right? I knew that I would kind of be short on that. Maybe I shouldn't have gone as hard on some of these and built this one, but hey, you know, lessons learned, right? But a big reason why I didn't have this right away was because I was trying to see with my episode shipment kind of where I would end up. So you guys see I have 14,000 left over, and I've already bought almost all the mod material I normally buy. So it's not that crazy for me to say that I could maybe buy one of these earlier and I would still be okay. But that was kind of what I wanted to do, was make sure I wasn't going to end up in a position where I couldn't buy the mod materials that I normally buy every single week with my episode currency. So that's the end of the video, folks. I hope this, I hope you obviously enjoy the, content around the account updates. I feel it at least helps give you some idea of what I'm doing and where I'm heading. So obviously where I'm heading is we're getting into Nightfall, we're getting into the new raid, we're farming that stuff as much as we can, which I guess I didn't mention my shard farming. We do have a 6-star Omega Fugitive now. So she has 6 stars, we're farming her. And Batcher is 1 shard away from 6 stars, so I didn't do my refreshes on Omega today. I'm doing them on Batcher, try to catch them up, kind of keep them consistent. Not doing anything on Hunter since he's in the Cantina. Gonna wait for that. And then whenever these guys, I've got to make a game time decision on Oppo and CX2. But that's the end of the video, folks. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.